Oh, good morning or good afternoon everyone. England won the rugby today, come on. As you all know from my YouTube bulletin I posted yesterday, I was going to go to Colston Hall in Bristol for a record fair this morning. Now the Colston Hall's a really famous venue. A lot of bands play there. Motorhead, Alice Cooper, Iron Maiden used to play there as well in the early 80s. I think the last time they played there was on the Somewhere in Time tour, the original one. In '86, so a little bit of history to the venue there. As I say, I went to a record fair and I thought I would do a video of some of the scores I managed to find there. Hope you're interested. These are all heavy metal scores. They're not no particular genre. It's not just death metal, not just heavy metal. It's just a bit of a mishmash. So the first thing I wanted to show you is this. This is the original 1978 UK Casablanca issue of Peter Criss from Kiss. His solo single, You Matter to Me, back with Hooked on Rock and Roll. I got this, managed to pick that up there. It's got the poster with it and it's got the green vinyl. So I was more than happy to get that because these are quite hard to come by. What you do is you normally find these with just the coloured vinyl and the picture sleeve. The poster is really hard to find. It's not poster, the mask I should say. And I'll show you that. There you go. I am Peter Criss. There you go. So I managed to pick that up. So that was the first thing on the old record fair shopping list I managed to purchase. This is a bootleg copy of the Soundhouse Tapes picture disc. There was only 200 of these made. This is number 177. It's not exactly marked on the vinyl, the number, merely handwritten on the backing sleeve there. As you can see, it's a heavy duty picture disc and it has a reproduction of the front cover and the back cover as well. So I don't actually own the Soundhouse tapes, so I'm really happy to finally get a copy of it. I'd like to get an original copy, but that's going to cost about 600 quid, so more than happy with that to do just for the minute, because I might get a real Soundhouse copies one day, you never know. This is another Iron Maiden original single picture disc. This is Run to the Hills from the Number of the Beast. There you go, pick that one up there for a good price. Okay, the last of the 7 inches. This is an original Ozzy Osbourne. This is Crazy Train with You Looking at Me, Looking at You on the B-side. So a big fan of Randy Road, big fan of Ozzy, particularly his time in Blizzard of Oz. The first 2 albums, in my opinion, are his best stuff he's ever made. Big fan of Randy Rhoads, as I say, on guitar. So that is on Jet Records, and that was a bargain. So I'm more than happy to pick that one up. Next one, Under the Blade on Secret Records. This is Twisted Sister's debut album. Featuring Under the Blade, Destroyer, which is a great song as well, and of course Sin After Sin, which I believe was on a B-side of one of their singles. That's the back cover there. An underrated band, Twisted Sister. They very much come from the anthemic Kiss mould of songwriting, but they were always a little bit harder than the sort of glam rock bands. So really pleased to pick that one up. Been looking for that one for quite a while. Finally get it in my collection. Okay, this is a Big Beat issue of the debut album from Motorhead, which is really the first album from Motorhead. It's quite unlike anything else which they've ever done, really, in terms of the sound. It's a lot softer sound. It's a bit more Hawkwind, because of course Lemmy used to play bass and sing in Hawkwind prior to being fired due to a drugs bust in Canada, I think. But this is a rare version. This has got the rare pick inner sleeve with liner notes and translucent red vinyl. So I was really pleased to pick that one up. Always on the lookout for Motorhead stuff for my collection, because I do really collect vinyl from any of the major heavy metal bands. Okay, a bit of a Priest tip now. This is Killing Machine on CBS from 1978. Featuring great tracks such as Hellbent for Leather, which incidentally, if you have an American copy of this album, the album is actually called Hellbent for Leather and not Killing Machine. There you go, that's pretty good condition. No inner sleeve on that one. Stained Class, one of Priest's better records, this one, starting off with Exciter, Beyond the Realms of Death, which is, I believe, no, I think Better By You, Better Than Me. I think that was a song that got Priest in trouble in the mid-80s with the court case of the kids shooting themselves. Better By You, Better Than Me. There you go, there's that one there. But I've never actually owned Stained Class, so I'm looking forward to listening to this one a little bit later on. I've got some NEMS reissues. These are Dutch reissues. This is a super deluxe reissue of Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Black Sabbath, nice condition. A little bit of wear on the sleeve. But what I like about these NEMS reissues is they do feature the original UK gatefolds. So that was a nice one to pick up. Good stuff for the Sabbath collection. Also another NEMS reissue. Don't think this is a deluxe one, this one, but it's also got the gatefold. That's Paranoid. The first album that Sabbath really did, which sort of got their sound really. The first album had a couple of covers on it, and it was real proto-metal. This is where they really sort of began to find their form, in my opinion. So there's that one. Also with Sabbath, we've got, with Ian Gillan on vocals, this is Born Again, which is an underrated album. I've always been a huge fan of Zero the Hero. Check it out on YouTube, check out the video, it's quite eerie and it's well worth a watch. So, Born Again with the lyric in the sleeve. More than happy to get that one. This is a rare promo copy of Turbo from Priest. Promotional sticker on the front there. You get the lyric inner as well, so that's something else for the Priest collection. Always been a big fan of Rush. I'd like to do a video on my Rush collection soon, but this is from '87. This is Hold Your Fire, which is a very melodic album, similar to Power Windows, but it's actually one of my favourites. It's got some really great songs like Time Stands Still, Lock and Key, Tai Shan. Really good album, well worth listening to, from a period of Rush which is kind of a little bit glossed over now. Motley Crue. This is Motley Crue, 85 release. What's this one called? Oh yeah, gone blank there. Theatre of Pain. That's the back cover. Lyric inner. It's got a merchandise sheet in there as well. And I've been having various discussions with various people about piracy and taking music for free on the internet. This is the way it used to be, kids, if you didn't really realise. This is a certificate of authenticity, and this says, we need your help, we want to know how much you like our music. Send this in so we know that it's not an inferior or illegally duplicated product. So in '85 people were getting worried about piracy, obviously from cassette tapes and things like that, but you know, it's interesting to think back to a time in the '80s when, you know, things really weren't a lot different to what they were now. People were taping albums off each other instead of going out and buy them. I'd say buy your music. That's Motley Crue. On a harder tip, this is SOD, Stormtroopers of Death, Speak English or Die. Side project from Scott Ian, Billy Milano, Dan Lilka and Charlie Benante from Anthrax. Lyric inner sleeve. Immaculate condition, that one. It's a Dutch copy. On Roadrunner, of course. Scorpions, Animal Magnetism. Scorpions had a long history of very dodgy covers, and that carries that one on. Not one of their better albums, this one, but I've always fancied getting it on vinyl. It's got The Zoo and Make It Real, which are a couple of the more popular songs. Now some Maiden stuff. You all know I love Maiden. Some picture discs. Be Quick or Be Dead. Immaculate. Infinite Dreams live, back with Killers. Recording in Birmingham NEC in '88. Maiden Invasion of Rarity. This is a bootleg album, a double bootleg of various radio performances It's actually got the sound outs tapes on here as well. Live +1, radio bits and bobs and all sorts. So that's worth picking up. More picture discs from Maiden. That's Holy Smoke. In the original plastic sleeve, this is 2 Minutes to Midnight, and this one's famous for its B-side track, Mission from Harry, which is an argument between the band. That one's immaculate. Stranger in a Strange Land, back with Juanita and That Girl, picture disc. Last two, this is Dio. This is their second album, or his second album, featuring Vinny Appice on drums, Jimmy Bain bass, Claude Schnell keyboards, Vivian Campbell, when him and Dio were speaking, on guitar, and vocals keyboards, RJD himself, Ronnie James Dio. Original copy with original inner sleeve. And finally, a Dutch only issue. They did this on picture disc as well, which is much rarer, but this is a Rush compilation from Mercury Records. I believe it was only issued for the Dutch market. This is Rush Through Time, and this one features records basically up to the Farewell to Kings tour, but I think it was issued in 81, 82. So that is what I bought. So I hope you all like some of the new additions to my collection, and any comments below, and I'll speak to you all soon. Have a fantastic weekend.